China has proven it prefers mutually beneficial cooperation. And this is what the Belt and Road Initiative is all about. A new trans-African highway is linking Dakar with Djibouti, 8,700 kilometers away. A new parliament building in Zimbabwe, ports and railways throughout Asia and the Middle East and South America, power plants, schools, hospitals, mines, communication links, and IT systems are already built. This infrastructure is now improving lives, increasing income, providing better education and health outcomes, and creating optimism. But when COVID-19 made debt repayments more difficult, China did the unexpected, and it forgave the debts of 17 African countries to the tune of $4.3 billion. While Western politicians and media shout about debt traps, they fail to report when China forgives debt. Or when they do so unironically in a classic shot to their own foot by attempting to belittle China's good deed by pointing out that the debts were interest-free in the first place. Interest-free debts. Think about that. During his first 100 days as president, Biden announced a Build Back Better program, which would stimulate the economy and help America recover from decline by spending up to $6 trillion domestically. What passed the House of Representatives a year later was a watered-down version worth $1.85 trillion, which still hasn't been passed in the Senate, with one senator in Biden's own party blocking it. In June last year, in order to counter China's influence through its BRI, President Biden announced there would be a new G7 partnership called Build Back a Better World, B3W. So far, B3W has achieved nothing except headlines. A rallying around of the world's democracies to deliver for our people and meet the world's biggest challenges. When we see our people, let's remember that the G7 represents 50% of the world's GDP, but only 10% of its people. Given the lack of ability to help their own constituents through BBB, it's highly unlikely that these will be within the life of Biden's administration. What Washington and the G7 probably didn't expect was that China would agree with them. China's Foreign Minister, Wang Yi, in February of this year, explained that China likes the idea and would be willing to cooperate and work with the US to incorporate B3W into BRI, to build a family of openness, inclusiveness, innovation, growth, connectivity, and win-win cooperation. Now, if history is any guide, the best way to influence is through action, not threats or promises. Most poor nations in the world have a history of being invaded, religiously converted, colonized, and exploited. Now they're seeing the benefit of China's influence. They're experiencing a partner that shares, not takes, and doesn't interfere with their culture or bring religion. China doesn't move in, take land, and leave Bibles or trinkets. The developing world has heard promises before. It's seen the results of hundreds of years of colonization and Western expansion. It's going to take more than the dangle of an unconfirmed $40 trillion promise from their old masters to change their minds, especially when BRI is already bringing changes and tangible benefits.